Welcome, everyone. I'm Tracy Fitzpatrick, and I'll be your moderator today. Thank you so much for joining us here at NetCom Learning, a market leader in promoting lifelong learning, training, and talent development solutions. We are very excited to host today's event, What's New with CompTIA Security SY0-701. And presenting today's topic is Sheikh Rashid. Sheikh has been working as a cybersecurity trainer for the last 12 years. He is experienced in training and preparing clients for various global certifications related to network, security, and cloud. Sheikh is a Microsoft certified trainer, EC Council certified instructor, and certified cybercrime intervention officer. Now, please bear in mind that this is an overview of a very robust topic. We offer a collection of technical and business courses that can be tailored to your specific requirements. If you are interested in a further discussion, you can make an appointment with our learning consultants through our website at netcomlearning.com. Today's session is also being recorded, so you'll get free access to the recording in the next 24 hours via email. NetCom Learning helps customers build innovative learning organizations by achieving a smarter workforce, adapting to change, and driving growth. We do this with a broad catalog of offerings, developing customized learning plans, and our global delivery capabilities. Since 1998, we have been empowering organizations with our managed learning services to help them reach optimal performance results and address challenges. We do have 9 practice areas in which we specialize. They encompass people, process, and technology training. And today's presentation is from the security practice area. NetCom Learning offers a comprehensive training portfolio of courses for the topic being covered today. Our upcoming classes include various trainings on the given courses. You can also access a variety of marketing assets, such as the free training and blogs, by clicking on the available event handout. These offerings can be found with a simple search on our website at netcomlearning.com. In today's session, we'll delve into the latest updates and advancements in CompTIA Security SY0-701, equipping your team with vital cybersecurity skills. We'll cover essential technical skills like risk assessment, incident response, and forensics to fortify your organization's defenses against cyber threats. And now I would like to give you a quick overview of the logistics before we get started. To begin with, you do have the option to view in full screen by clicking on the full screen button on the right side of the GoToWebinar viewer. Simply hit the escape key to exit the full screen. Everyone has been muted except for our presenters. Feel free to submit any questions you have for the presenters here in the questions pane, and we will address them at the end of the session. And to get the best out of today's events, we've included the slides, courses we talk about, and marketing assets in the handouts section of your GoToWebinar viewer. You may refer to them at any time to get a better understanding of today's topic. And we do realize that some of you may have to leave early and want to let you know that as you do leave the session today, you will be presented with a short survey. We would like to request for you to take a quick moment to participate in that survey. Your feedback really helps us understand your learning experience and improve our future sessions for you. The survey answers are measured on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 representing outstanding and 1 representing poor. And now I'd like to pass this over to our trainer to present today's topic. Hey, Sheikh, thanks so much for joining us today.
Hey everyone, my name is Sheikh Rashid Javid. I am very excited to present this new version or an update on Security Plus from CompTIA. Since Security Plus is one of the recognized certifications from CompTIA, and we have a latest version which is SY0-701. My name is Sheikh Rashid Javid. I am Microsoft certified trainer, EC Council certified instructor, cybercrime intervention officer with almost more than 20 global certifications related to network security and cloud. So let's get started with what is new with CompTIA Security Plus SY0-701. So the agenda for the day is we are going to understand the key updates from SY0601, the old version, to the latest one, SY0701. In this, we are going to understand what are the new domains, what are the labs, what are the exam details. Then we'll see cyber attack identification and mitigation. Here, I'll be sharing my techniques, secure virtualization and application deployment. Then we'll see protocols and encryption best practices. And at last, we are going to see regulatory compliance in cybersecurity. And then I can take any questions related to the topic. Since there are a lot of ways, a lot of techniques, which everyone in security will be using, but here I'm going to discuss some of the most important techniques, or I can say methodologies, which we need to use or which we can use to ensure confidentiality, integrity, availability, and all. Why CompTIA Security Plus? Why we go for this certification? Because it is a global certification that validates the foundational cybersecurity skills which are necessary to do core security functions and pursue an IT security career. So when it comes to CompTIA, this is one of the most recognized certifications, as I keep traveling to different parts of the world where I interact with a lot of government, private, and other people related to security. And there's a lot of demand for Security Plus. So if we see a career path, if you want to get started with Security Plus, you can start with IT fundamentals. You can go for A plus and then Network Plus, Security Plus, and then CISA Plus and Pentest. Or here you have an option after Security Plus, you can directly go to CISA Plus, or you can do Pentest Plus, and then you go to CAS Plus. That's with CompTIA. And luckily, I have done almost all of those certifications except CAS Plus. So rest, I've done all these certifications, and this is the primary job role. Like, you can work as a security admin, you can work as a system admin, and the secondary job roles are help desk analyst, security engineer, and security analyst. So if you try to compare that with 601, you can see there's a little bit change, which I'm going to discuss here. With the job roles also, you can see, because these are now being defined properly. So now the major update with 701 is that it has been updated to reflect skills relevant to job roles, tasks with baseline security readiness, and response to address today's threats, and to prepare candidates to be more proactive in preventing the next attack. Now we are being more proactive. Earlier we were being more reactive, but now the approach is that we are being more proactive. We are using machine learning. We are using artificial intelligence. If some threat is there in someone's network, I don't want that to affect my network. I'm doing threat intelligence. I'm doing threat hunting. Being a SOC analyst, I need to know that I need to have a knowledge of instant handling, forensic investigation, disaster recovery, and all of that. So that's what the major update has brought in. So assessing the security posture of enterprise environment and recommend and implement appropriate security solutions. We're going to monitor and secure hybrid environment, because with cloud, now we have Azure, we have Alibaba, we have GCP, we have Microsoft Azure, we have AWS. So that's where, this is going to include the hybrid environment, like, cloud, IoT, OT, operating with awareness of applicable regulations and policies, including principle of governance, risk, and compliance, identifying, analyzing, and responding to security events and incidents. So these are the major updates. This is what is included in 701. We were not having those topics in 601, but with this update, so a lot of important things are brought up in this 701. If you see here, 20% of the exam objectives were updated to include current trends. Is going to include the latest trends and threats, attacks, vulnerabilities, automation, zero trust, risk, IoTs, OTs, cloud environments are emphasized, as well as communication, reporting, and teamwork. So these are some of the latest topics which are included in 701. Hybrid environment, latest techniques for cybersecurity professionals working in hybrid environment that are located in the cloud and on-prem. Cybersecurity professionals should be familiar with both the worlds, whether it is on-prem or is it on the cloud. As a cybersecurity analyst, that's what I mentioned that earlier. I was very much concerned with how to deal with those security incidents. Now I need to do forensic investigation. I need to do incident handling. I need to look the hybrid environment. I need to be concerned with IoT, OT security. That's what is included in 701. Now, these are the key updates from 601 to 701. Similar skill level. Exam continues to identify early career cybersecurity skills at the 2-year level, but SY0-701 has the same number of exam domains, but with fewer objectives due to more focused job role in a maturing industry. That's what we saw in the job roles. I said that it is being more focused. Earlier in 601, there were a lot of job roles, but now it is being more focused. Related job role decreased from 8 to 5 as the work of a security admin becomes more defined and skills performed are identified with more accuracy. So that's one of the reasons several exam domains and exam objectives were reordered and renamed to address instructional design improvements. Bloom's taxonomy indicates more application of skills and slightly less analysis overall, and more focus on GRC, governance, risk, and compliance are better defined for cybersecurity professionals, with more focus on reporting and communication as opposed to some different regulatory standards and the purpose. So if you see here, these are the domains in 701. They have included general security concept, and in module 2 you have threats, vulnerabilities, and mitigations. Then you have security architecture. Then you have security operations, program management, and oversight. So this is the weightage with respect to exam. Now these are the domains which are in 701. In domain 1, it talks about general security concepts. Here they're discussing more on compare and contrast various types of security controls, fundamental security concepts, change management process, and cryptographic solutions. 12% of the questions you will see in exam. Threat, vulnerabilities, and mitigation. Here you're going to understand how to compare, contrast common threat actors and motivations, different threat vectors, attack surfaces, what are the different types of loopholes, vulnerabilities, how to do mitigation for them, what are the techniques used to secure the enterprise, and then indicators of malicious activity, 22% in the exam. Domain 3 is on security architecture, where you're going to compare and contrast security implications of different architecture models, concept of strategies to protect data, apply security principles to secure enterprise infrastructure, and the importance of resilience and recovery. 18% of questions in the exam. Then domain 4 is on security operations, where you're going to apply common security techniques to computing resources, explain security alerting, monitoring concepts and tools. You're going to understand on vulnerability management activities, security implications of proper hardware, software, data assets management, modify enterprise capabilities to enhance security, implement and maintain identity and access management, use data sources to support an investigation, importance of automation, orchestration, and incident response activities. 20% is the weightage here. And the last module is on security program management and oversight, where you're going to understand, explain elements of effective security governance, risk management, types and purpose of audits and assessment, and elements of security compliance. Now, overall, it just gives you an idea, if you work as a security analyst, if you work in security, what you need to know. Now, these are the labs. This time we have 36 labs where you are going to understand how to do gap analysis, security controls, how to find open service ports, how to do social engineering toolkit, do a social engineering attack, how to use social storage encryption, how to do hashing, salting, management, password security, permissions, remote access, how to use tunneling, containers, virtualization, related to cloud, how to do backups, how to do data drive sanitization, how to do and detect SQL injections, how to work with threat feeds, how to do vulnerability scans, security baseline, how to implement a firewall, how to use group policy, how to do hardening, DNS filtering, system monitoring, how to respond, in instant, how to do detection, how to do digital forensics, root cause analysis, how to detect and respond to malware, how to understand on-path attacks, how to use playbooks, how to implement allow list and deny list, how to do reconnaissance, information gathering, pen testing, how to train and awareness through simulation, use case of automation, network sniffers. All these are very important and interesting topics. It just gives you an overview, with threat and all vulnerabilities, cloud and all. It just gives you an overview of what you need to know, when you work in security. And these are the exam details, SY0-701, and is available on November 7, 23 worldwide. Price is going to change based on what location you're coming from, but this is for US, for a particular location, and you can take it online or you can go to VUE Testing Center. You can see performance-based questions and multiple choice like previous version, 90 questions in 90 minutes, and you need to gain 750 to pass this exam. And CompTIA says that you need to have Network Plus and 2 years of experience or working in a security admin role. And this exam is going to retire the old version on July 31st, 2024. So that means you still have time, but the latest version is in, so it is better to go for the latest one as per my recommendation. Now, how to identify and mitigate. So let's discuss some of the important techniques, how to identify an attack. Now, there are a lot of ways. Nowadays, you get a lot of alerts, but if you find any of those signs, like, files or software has been deleted, installed, or changed without your involvement, or there's a suspicious pop-up when you access the internet, or there is unknown files or programs, or there is slower than normal internet speed, or computer hang or crash. So that is an indication of a cyber attack. Or if you see your email account has been hacked, system account details are compromised, your online storage account has been hacked. Most of the times you see people saying that, their online account or maybe storage device has been hacked. You receive a blackmail email demand. Your social media has been hacked. Network has been attacked. There's a fraud financial transaction. You got infected with a malware cyber attack. Now, most of the times you get an alert from a SIEM or any of the other tools which are at perimeter like firewalls, IDS, IPS, or UTMs, but these are some of the other indications. Now, how to mitigate? There are a lot of ways on how to do the mitigation based on what kind of attack is it, what is the severity, there are a lot of ways, but these are some of the important, I would say, some of the basic as well as important techniques you need to apply on, how to mitigate those cyber attacks. Like, you need to have an updated software, regularly update and upgrade the software. You need to control access, limit access and controlled account. So this is the principle of least privilege. Create a plan, create a comprehensive system recovery plan and incident response plans. That is what our managers, in cybersecurity at the upper level C-suites, that's what they do. They create those plans. Use firewalls and antivirus. Install firewalls and antivirus to help identify malicious attempts. So firewall has its own use and antivirus has its own use. Monitor traffic. Continuous monitoring is very important. Network traffic to find if there's any cyber threat, unusual activities. You can use Wireshark, you can use TCP/IP, you can use any of those tools. You can also use network access controls to implement access controls to ensure that only authorized individuals can access data. That's what confidentiality talks about. Use a patch management. You need to create a schedule for managing those patches. GFI land guard. A lot of tools are there. Use security analyst. You do a security analysis to detect possible loopholes that can be exploited by attackers, right? That's why we do threat analysis, vulnerability analysis, risk analysis. We do threat hunting or use multi-factor authentication. Because with multi-factors, something something you have, something you are, somewhere you are, something you do. Those are attributes, but these three are the factors which you can make use of to make it sure that attacker doesn't steal your passwords. Or you can also use segregate networks using VLANs, using subnets, a lot of other ways. use hardware security features like, hardware. You should also leverage hardware security features as well as software, enforce policies, and then manage systems. So these are some of the ways, or some of the basic, or I could say some of the important techniques of how to mitigate those attacks. Secure virtualization and application deployment. Now, when it comes to virtualization, because cloud is designed based on the concept of virtualization. So when it's secure virtualization, it is also known as virtualized security. It's a software-based security solution that works in a virtualized IT environment, because virtualization is the process of running multiple virtual instances of a device on a single physical hardware resource. So virtualization has many security benefits in the cloud because it makes it harder for the viruses and malware. Now, you might say that there are a lot of attacks on the cloud also, but it also depends on which cloud service provider. Is it Azure? Is it GCP? So how they secure it? So if we try to see the way they maintain those standards, so we can say that yes, it is far more secure. And here are some of the ways to secure a virtual environment. You need to only install what is needed on a host machine. Isolate each virtual machine with a firewall, network security groups, external firewalls, internal firewalls. Ensure that antivirus programs are installed on virtual machine and kept current with updates. Use strong encryption between host and virtual machines. Use vulnerability management and patching to regularly update software and operating systems with latest security patch. It all depends on what kind of, is it infrastructure as a service? Is it platform as a service? Is it software as a service? But if it's an infrastructure as a service, that's where you can do, all those things. Maybe in software as a service, they might not give you those options, but we are talking about, if you have infrastructure as a service, or you can also make use of firewalls, IDS, encryption in the cloud also, in the virtualization also, you have a lot of other security measures. And when it comes to app development, so secure app development refers to security of infrastructure used to deploy an app. So key issues in deployment may be, physical safeguards, network security, infrastructure security, or data security. Because what happens here, when we talk about those applications, so it all depends, how we are designing those applications, because application will be in some host will be in some network will be in some perimeter. So we need to secure those layers. That's what we are talking about, those securing those layers. Here are some of the tips to keep your application secure. So test. Test is very important. So first thing is, we need to test. Use authorization and authentication effectively. So these are some of the ways to keep your application secure. So first thing is that you need to test always. Use authorization and authentication effectively. Use mobile device features. Minimize attack surface always. Encrypt if there's any sensitive data. You need to have a strong API, because API is how, it acts like a mediator between the front end and the back end. You need to secure them because that's always interacting with the back end. Choose the right development platform. Also put yourself in the shoes of the attacker, because the best way if you want to defend your applications is you need to see how those attackers are done. You have to be offensive. That's where you will be defensive. Keep your software up to date always, or include user authentication. Who is trying to access the resource, why they are trying to access, when they are trying to access, those are very important. Prioritize data encryption. Apply strict in-house security standards. Educate your team on mobile security. So this is how you can achieve application deployment. Then you got protocol and encryption best practices. So here are some of the best practices for encryption and protocols. You got to use TLS everywhere. Those SSL certificates. Now SSL is being replaced with TLS, where it just makes it sure whenever you connect to any website, it just gives you a digital certificate, which is signed by some certificate authority. That's where there's a trust. And do not serve some page unencrypted. You got to protect your encryption keys. Whether if you try to encrypt something with a private key, you need to share that private key. If it's a symmetric encryption, you need to share that with other person. So make it sure you share it properly, because when it comes to public and private encryption or asymmetric encryption, that's where you encrypt with a public key and the other person can decrypt with his private key. So you're always going to encrypt with your public key, but encryption key protect your encrypted data. Use public key cryptography because it's a most secure. It does not require users to transmit or reveal private keys. That's what's happening on the internet. We are making use of digital envelope. That's where we are not sharing. We are making use of both symmetric and asymmetric, because when it comes to asymmetric, key sharing is not a problem, but symmetric is very fast. Asymmetric is not going to encrypt that much data as is done by symmetric encryption. So we can take advantage of both of them. You got to use full disk encryption to protect all data and files which are saved on your disk, because you have data at rest, you have data in motion, you have data in use. You got to secure all of them. Use audit log encryption to make security compliance audits more meaningful. Use cloud storage encryption, because cloud encryption data is difficult to compromise unless it is decrypted. Keep sensitive data out of URL and cache so that attackers may not steal your cookies and all. We always got to clear those cache. Prevent exposing data over SSL TLS, and only support strong protocols and ciphers. So when we say preventing exposed data, we are very much concerned about downgrading attacks. We need to make it sure that we're going to prevent it from, whenever your client and server are going to negotiate, that's where they share what kind of protocols they'll be using. Make it sure that they're going to kind of support the latest versions of TLS, and only support strong protocols and ciphers. Like AES is the strongest when it comes to symmetric. So a lot of other protocols, when it comes to TLS, what version we'll be using and all, you need to check for that. These are some of the best practices for encryption protocols. Now, regulatory compliance in cybersecurity. So cybersecurity compliance is the process of following industry standards, laws, and regulations related to information security and data privacy. These regulations provide a set of requirements for collecting, storing, managing, and sharing sensitive data. Nowadays, regulatory compliance is become very important. You need to be compliant. You need to follow the standards, whether you're a bank, if it's PCI DSS, you're in a hospital, if it is HIPAA, or if it's ISO 27001. So compliance frameworks or set of guidelines and best practices that organizations follow to meet regulatory requirements, improve process strength security, and achieve other business objectives. Compliance frameworks provide guidelines on how organizations should implement security controls, how to handle data breach, and safeguard customer privacy. So here are some of the best practices. You need to always do risk assessment, rank risk based on what's the likelihood, what's the impact, is it critical, is it low, medium, or high, so that you can focus more on the critical one first, or consider the people, process, and technology. You also need to have risk-based controls. So sometimes we set up a control based on what kind of risk we have. So once we do the risk analysis or risk assessment, that's how we are going to protect the CIA of information, confidentiality, only sensitive, only authorized people have access to the sensitive information, and integrity, only authorized people can modify it, and it's available to all the authorized people whenever they need it. Implement controls and security best practices to minimize the risk to sensitive data. Or NIST is also come up with 853, a lot of series are there which can help you to with any confusion or those standards. Now the last thing which I want to share with you guys is the recommended certification is your Security Plus. So there are two links. One takes you to the official CompTIA Security Plus. Here you can see all the latest information about CompTIA Security Plus. So these are the exam codes. And if you see here, it just explains everything about SY0-701, about the exam and what are the skills you're going to learn, what are the jobs you can land with Security Plus. Exam details you can see here. And here also you can write your name and also see some questions or exam objectives. Exam information is available here, and also how you can renew this. All details are available here on this official site. And another one is from NetCom. So if you just go to this link, you will be able to see more about the certification which we are going to provide here, exam SY0-701. What are the additional things you'll be getting here, whether it is your course details. So you'll be getting, all whatever is in the course, whatever you need, like the book, labs and all. You can see all the details here, course outline, target audience. All right, so since there is a lot to discuss, but since time is limited, so I just wanted to give you guys an overview to Security Plus, what is the latest in SY0-701. Since there's a lot of content and it will not be done in 40 minutes, but or half an hour, but it just kind of gives an overview to all of those who are planning to prepare for Security Plus, because this is one of the most recognized certifications when it comes to cybersecurity. You guys might hear about either ethical hacking or Security Plus. Security Plus is also getting a lot of popularity in almost everywhere in the world, because I do see here, there's a lot of demand for this course. So that is the reason I just wanted to give an overview. What are the changes on this? What is the latest version? What is the change from 601 to 701? So what are the topics being added? And for all those who are preparing for 701, so it just gives you an overview how to get started with this. Thank you. Thank you very much. So I'm done. If there's any questions, I can take that. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheikh. That was very informative. I know everyone is looking forward to the Q&A session, so go ahead and start putting your questions into the question panel. And while you do that, I'd like to give the presentation rights over to Nikita Singh, our Deputy Manager of Product Marketing, to introduce our promotions and webinar-related courses.
Thank you for extending the opportunity to speak with the audience today. I hope the session was informative and it added value to your learning experience. You can watch the event recording by clicking the Access Recording button here. Now, I would like to highlight NetCom Learning capabilities and why we are the best when it comes to training and learning services. Recognized by Microsoft as the winners of the Partner of the Year awards 2 years in a row, 2023 and 2022, we excel in guiding organizations to achieve peak performance while addressing their challenges through comprehensive organizational learning solutions. Our dedication since 1998 has led us to service over 80% of Fortune 1000 companies and served 100 plus US military bases. We have trained over 1 million professionals and helped 36,000 plus organizations achieve their business goals. We have a huge portfolio of more than 3,300 certified trainers who are subject matter experts in their domains, and our dedication to providing customized learning methods is why we are awarded as the top 20 IT training companies by trainingindustry.com. Moving ahead, being a platinum learning partner of CompTIA, I would like to announce our upcoming schedules of CompTIA training that you can explore through this handout. And to add value to your learning curve, we encourage you to leverage free on-demand training and blog on CompTIA certifications. You can also take advantage from Learning Passport, which is NetCom Learning's solution to flexible team training. It is designed to be customized for the number of learners you train on top technology vendors like Microsoft, Cisco, CompTIA, Adobe, and more. The single package can be redeemed for over 4,000 plus official courses with a validity of 12 months. To introduce you to NetCom Plus Learner subscription, which is complimentary for all the attendees. And NetCom Plus provides you access to more than 400 e-learning courses across various technologies and vendors. I would recommend you all to visit NetCom Learning's website for more information on courses and certifications, free virtual events, our latest blogs and ebooks, and promotional offers. If you want to build a smarter workforce and drive business growth, I highly recommend you go through the book Building an Innovative Learning Organization by Russell Sader, CEO of NetCom Learning. You can easily find this ebook on Amazon. And for the latest updates on IT and business training, follow us and subscribe to our social media handles. Thank you for joining us. Have a great day.
Thanks so much for guiding us through that information, Nitika. And now we're going to go ahead and jump right into our question and answer session. If you haven't yet, it's not too late to pop your questions into the question panel. And as we start our Q&A sessions, we're also going to launch a quick poll that we want to invite you to participate in. Doing so helps us to know how we can better serve you by telling us who might be interested in more information or in taking some additional training. In addition, we have a lot more informative webinars coming up, so please go to netcomlearning.com/webinars in order to register. The first question we have today is, how different is Security Plus certification as compared to EC Council's CEH?
Okay. This is very interesting question, because I see a lot of times people want to hear how is the Security Plus different from CEH. So CEH is an ethical hacking course from EC Council, and Security Plus is from CompTIA. So there are different vendors, but as per my experience, what I have seen, if you want to spend a lot of time in security and testing, if you want to if you have a lot of time and you want to work in security and testing, my recommendation is then you can go for ethical hacking, because that is where you'll be learning a lot of tools and you'll be spending a lot of time doing that. But for Security Plus, we have I've seen a lot of different crowd for Security Plus. So if you want to understand the terminologies, because your objective is maybe you want to go into the management side, or you are working as a manager, you want to understand those security terms and all, that's where I would suggest you go for Security Plus. So both these certifications, there are a lot of reasons, there are a lot of differences also. But for me, I would say, if you want to understand the basic terminologies, if you want to understand now if you see 701, it has also included a lot of other things which you want to learn, being when you work in security. So what are the important things you need to have? You need to have a knowledge of that. Then I would suggest that you go for Security Plus.
Next question is from John, and he's asking, how difficult is Security Plus exam and how to start preparing for the exam?
Right, so if you guys would have done any of the other CompTIA exams, I would say CompTIA exams are not that easy. But if you prepare, if you have a right kind of approach to prepare for any CompTIA exam, since I did IT fundamentals, I did A plus, I did network plus, I did security plus, I did pen test plus, cloud plus, and CYSA plus. So I would say we need to plan it properly. So if you want to plan for the exam, my suggestion is that you just go through the book, the reference material which is provided, the official book, just go through the book, understand the terminology, understand the acronyms, because there are a lot of questions which you can solve based on those acronyms and terminology. And another thing is that the lab is very important. So first go through the book, go through the acronyms, go through terminology. Second thing is go through the lab, maybe once or twice. Now it is going to indirectly help you to solve those questions. And another important thing is to go through the practice questions. Now if you go online, search for the practice questions, it is going to make things easy for you in the exam, because not only knowing the answers but also knowing them properly, because there are a lot of tricks in the exam where they make it sure that you know it 100% right. So it is better you go through each question once, twice, thrice, multiple times, whatever it depends on how much time you have, and make it sure when you choose an option, you need to also check why other answers are wrong. So if A is correct, why B, C, D is wrong. With that, you're going to make it sure that you do it perfect.
Next question that's being asked is, if I have already done SYO 601, do I need to do SYO 701?
Right, this is one of the questions I hear most of the times. If you have done the old version 601, are you supposed to do 701? So in that case, there are a lot of ways where you don't need to do it. So if you maintain, let's assume the first thing is that if you are done with 601, and now if you do any advanced certification, if you do, let's assume you're doing CYSA. Now you have done security plus old version, but now you're doing CYSA plus. So what CYSA plus is going to do, it is going to automatically upgrade your previous certificate for next 3 years. So the first thing is you do the upgraded certificate. And second thing is that if you have those credits, we call them continuing education units, CEU. If you maintain 50 of them by doing various activities, by doing some other certifications which are related to cybersecurity, or it just, it's going to mention that on the site itself. With the link which I have shared, in that is going to mention what are the activities you can do. So if you are able to maintain those credits, yes, then you don't need to go for this. Or if you do the advanced certificate, you don't need to go for this. But if you are planning to challenge yourself, yes, you are done with 601. Now you are challenging yourself. Let me go with the 701 to challenge yourself. Then yes, you go for that. Otherwise, if you are able to maintain those credits, or if you do some latest exam, then you don't need to do it.
Let's take one more question before we have to wrap it up. How important are labs for the exam, and will I see lab-related activities to be done in the real exam?
So labs are very important for any of the CompTIA exams. Directly, you're not going to see any lab related activities in the exam, but you are going to see some performance based questions. Now you are going to see multiple choice questions. You're also going to see performance based questions. So what these performance based questions are, they are some sort of scenarios. Now, you are not going to see lab activities, but if you are done with the lab, uh, it is going to help a lot. It just gives you some confidence, and then you feel like you have done, you have given your best. So when it comes to CompTIA exams, you give your best. You go for it with the book, you go with the labs, you go with the practice questions, and then you go for the exam. So you have given your best. Now, with that knowledge, whatever you have gained, you need to answer those questions with whatever knowledge you have. Maybe sometimes you can see that questions which you might have, you don't have any idea, you have gone through those questions, but yes, you have given your best. Now the only thing is that based on whatever knowledge you have, you're just going to make a choice out of that. So when it comes to lab, it is not going to help you directly, but indirectly lab is being very important for those CompTIA exams, especially security plus.
Once again, I want to remind you that as you leave the session today, you will be presented with a short survey. We would like to request for you to help us by taking a quick moment to participate in that survey. Your feedback really helps us understand your learning experience as we are constantly looking at how we can improve our future sessions. The survey answers are measured on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 representing outstanding and 1 representing poor. We want to thank all of you for joining us today, and if you do come up with any additional questions, feel free to send them to webinar@netcomlearning.com at any time. We hope that you found today's webinar informative, and we look forward to seeing you back here with us soon. Feel free to tell your friends and colleagues about our webinars and other courses. Have a great day, everyone.